Hey guys, alright, so section 2, chapter 14, medieval Japan. We have shoguns and samurai. This is actually a pretty interesting section, and I'm also going to put a little video about the samurai under this classwork too. It's just for you to watch. It's really interesting, so really take a look at it and comment something that you thought was interesting from the video. And also, so we're going to start with this first section here on page 492. The main idea is this: during the AD 700s, Japan built a strong national government at Nara, and Buddhism became a popular religion. So you're going to read about the early 700s AD and how Japan's emperor built a new capital city called Nara, and for the next 100 years, it was the center of government and religion. And it was this whole thing, because it was so important, is called the Nara period. So this city looked much like China's capital. And here's a little picture of it right here. And you can continue to read this section. And we also have how Buddhism spreads in Japan. So the government's growing, so is Buddhism. Buddhism became very popular in Japan. Buddhism came to Japan from Korea in AD 500s. And the Japanese government officials and nobles were the first to accept this religion. And during that time period from AD 600s to AD 700s, it spread rapidly, really fast among the common people. And then it became the major religion. So continue reading. Then we're going to talk about the rise of the shogun. So the main idea of this is for Japan's civilian government, and the emperor came to be dominated by military rulers known as shoguns. So here we're going to talk about how the Emperor Kamo of Japan began building a new capital city called Heian. This city later became known as Kyoto. Like Nara, Heian was modeled on the Chinese city of Chang'an. It remained the official capital for more than 1,000 years, so that's a big deal. That's a long time. And then it goes into how the government weakens. During the 8800s, the emperor's power declined, so it went down. Why did this happen? After a strong time of strong emperors, the number of weak emperors came to the throne. So as many as there were strong leaders, all of a sudden a lot of weak leaders came about, and many of these emperors were still only children. If you were appointed at 9 years old, you were a 9-year-old emperor. So a lot of times a 9-year-old doesn't know what they're doing, or a teenager, so it's hard. So they can't rule a whole country. Okay, so then you could finish reading down to here. Then it goes to the samurai, which this is pretty interesting. To protect the lands and enforce the laws, they had these private armies. So to create these armies, they gave land to warriors who agreed to fight for them. So if you signed up to fight for them, you were known as a samurai. So you were given land and you had to fight for them. Okay, so in the battle, samurais fought on horseback with swords. They had daggers, bows, and arrows. And there's a picture of this guy right here. You can see a little bit more, and it shows you. They wore armor made of leather and steel, scales laced together with silk cords. Their helmets had horns or crests, and they wore masks designed to be terrifying. So they were supposed to come off very scary. So the word samurai means to serve, and they're serving, and they are protecting this strict code of conduct. And they had to live by a code of conduct called Bushido, and it's the way of the warrior. So I want you to continue reading this section. Check this guy out. Check the video out about the samurais. Pretty neat. What is a shogun? So we're in the early 1100s now. These most powerful Japanese families have begun fighting each other using these samurais. They fought over land and to gain control of the empire and the government. So this Genpei War began. It was a civil war. Civil war is between people within the same country. So we have two powerful clans. Remember, those clans are your two different families. So two families were fighting. And you could continue to read about all this. And the shoguns. Shogun is just a commander of all the emperor's military forces. So it's the main guy in charge of all the military. Okay, and then it talks about how the Mongols came in and attacked. Then we go into the Daimyo divide Japan. And this talks about how the shogun's power weakened Japan broke into warring kingdoms run by rulers known as Saemo. Okay, so you could read all about that. And don't worry about the questions because you're going to do the quiz 14-2 that's attached to this classwork section. Okay, guys? Questions, let me know.